Okay, I took a little break there. Um, so what we were talking about was the modals for the G minor shaped E minor. Okay, I'm in the key of C now. In the D box, is the D box that we're looking at? Yeah, we're looking at the D box. So it would be 3 6. G minor shape would be. Where would we play that from? Now that's a good point. So we're doing the E minor. So it's going to be, if it's going to be a G minor shape, it's going to be root. So it's going to be 3 5 7. So here's 3 5 7 3 5 7 3 5. So we play that. That's good. That works. But it ain't going to work if you have a fret nut right here. I can't stress this enough. This is why we have the long patterns. Okay, so if you in my C tune guitar, here's the key of C. Now you know D is always one whole step below the E shape, so that would be my B flat. So we were in the key of B flat like that. I don't want to confuse myself or everyone else. So in B flat, that would be your D shape. That's all fine and dandy because you can go D, you can go a G shape, D flat, and you can go do a shaped F there. You can do your 1 4 5. But when you go to do the now of course it's a nice E minor shaped C minor there. Okay, when you go to do that G minor shape, because we're trying to do a pentatonic increasing, D, E, G, A, C. It's pentatonic increasing. Why not? Because the fret nut. Okay? But remember that the curse of the fret nut was just running out of strings, or running out of strings this way, string, usually, length, it warned this modal system that I came up with. The long patterns, I realized we could use them as modal so that we can play all 7 modes, so and so on. So let's look at what are we going to do, and it's important we take this little hurdle now. Okay, stepping on to the next stepping stone. What are we going to do about the fact that if there is a fret nut there, I just erased it, but if there is a fret nut there, how we get the G minor shaped 3 5 7? That's your basic G minor shape, because when you're playing, in my case, it would be an E flat. But if we go, because my major to minor, you're just lowering the third. So that's your G minor shape. That's what I call the G minor shape chord. So we can identify these things with familiar chord shapes and learn how to do the CAGE system in each of the positions. But we can't play that G minor with the fret nut if we're in the key of D, let's say. Like D, call D the key of D, or the D shape, anything. In this case, we're in the D shape key of C, usually on my guitar. So what do we do? And that is a good thing to learn now, because when we get to the next 2 fretboards, okay, we're going to learn how to go to the next cage up, just to get used to going that D goes to C in caged. Okay, so when we're looking at the D shape in the D box here, it's right here, 5 root 3. Remember, this thing extends past this other fret nut that I drew for your fret nut. Mine's down tuned. So here's our little D shape here. If we can't get this 3 5 7 or the second, actually it was the G minor, so it would be the third, So it's going to be root position 3, 5, 7. So if we can't get this 7 because of the fret nut, we're going to go to the next cage shape from that G minor. Okay, is going to be what? C-A-G, E minor shape. So we want an E minor shape 3, 5, 7. E minor is usually in second inversion, so it'll be 7, 3, 5. We're going to go there. Now look how long that made the D box. Hey, wait a minute, I thought you said this is our D box. Well, let's just look at a longer version of the cages here, up here, and let's look at a longer version of that D box. We just happen to be using D because it works on all cages, right? So don't worry about the C part here, just the D box. Now we've got our 2, 3, 4 here. Here's our original 5 root 7. This encompasses the short cage, but with the fret nut right here, obviously we're not going to be able to get over here for that third minor, which would be 3, 5, 7. So up here in the D box, we've got 5 root 3. Okay. Do we have 6, 2, 4? Do we have time for 25 or 6 to 4? Do we have 6 to 4? Yeah, we can play that too. See, in the long play-away cages, so these are called the long play-away cages. It's the same thing I've been teaching in the previous lessons, okay, with the circle that goes around, with the AA, you know, with the 3 long patterns. So we can do that. We can also do that D minor shape thing, 6, 2, 4 right there. All right. Okay, so without getting into the circle of the long patterns, which everyone knows from previous lessons, I'm going to show you here that if we can't get our E minor, you know, third minor, it's going to be 3, 5, 7 here because of this fret nut, we have to go to the next cage letter up. So the next cage letter up from E minor in the word cage would be D minor, and we have a D minor shape. So we got 3, 5, 7 there. Actually, that's G, sorry, G minor. G goes to E minor, so we would have 7, 3, 5 right there. So we would go to a G minor shape in this long pattern. Play away. Okay? Now, if that wasn't complicated enough, now we have the cutout versions, which is the 3rd fretboard instead of play away. And by the way, let me just play away for you the D here. Okay, and I'm going to put the circle up. Okay, so we have the long pattern circle up now. I'm going to do the play away. We're going to start on the D, and then we're going to go to the 3 long patterns, A, E, and C. So it's 5, 5, 6, 7 for the A. E long pattern is root 2, 3, and C is 4, 5, 6. Then we're just going to go back into S4E. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4 back up to the D. Our 2, 3, 4 will be up here, I suppose. Now, I don't know why it ends up exactly right up there, but it does. We should be going to the next cage up, so we should be playing to like 3, 4, 5, which would be the C. Alright. In cage, just skip every other letter. Okay, so the D is going to go to C there. Here's your D. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Here's your C. So the long playaways are going to go to the next cage up. So let's start it. It's just D, 2, 3, 4 right here. Alright, then we're going to go into our little long pattern. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Straight away.